Okay, in this tutorial we're going to look at the Vlookup function. Now, the Vlookup function is a very useful function where it saves you from having to keep repeating or looking back at different worksheets to enter certain data. For example, we've got a customer ID here. Once we enter a customer's ID, okay, if we don't have Vlookup, what we'll have to do is we'll have to look at the customer section, look at the, okay, what ID was that? So that was ID number M009. So we have to look at M09, see what the customer's name is. Then what we'll do is go back to the invoice and we have to manually type that each individually. Then we'll have to look back, look at the customer's address, then enter the customer's address. What Vlookup does, it saves you that time having to go back and forwards and manually does it for you. So let's just look at an example here. If we go to customer number M002, okay, what it does, automatically changes the details accordingly. Another customer, okay, automatically changes it. So that's what we're going to look at Vlookup, and that's why it's a very useful tool. Okay, so we're going to do the Vlookup for the product section. So we're going to enter a product ID, and what it should do is display the description and the unit price of that product. Okay, so first things first, what we're going to do is go to our create a products page. So here's a product page which I've already created. What I'm going to do then is firstly, this range, I'm going to give it a name. So this is in Vlookup, this is known as a table. So the name of the table, so as you know, or if you've done it previously where you range name, you give this a name. So I'm going to call this one products. Okay, make sure you remember how you spell it. Enter. Now once you've pushed enter, now this is products. Okay, you do not highlight the heading. Make sure you do not highlight the heading, otherwise it will cause confusion. Only highlight everything below the heading and wherever your products are. Okay, so that section here from C11 to E24 is a table called products. Okay, once you've done that, you go back to your cell where you want to do the Vlookup. So this is the description section. In this section, what we're going to do is insert a function, and the function is going to be Vlookup. Click OK. Okay, and it's going to say, in the first, there's three boxes that are in bold that you need to make sure you complete. Okay, the first one is the lookup value. So what are we looking up? So we're looking up this cell here. So B18. Okay, the table array. Okay, so this is the name of that table that we just mentioned. So remember the products page, we created a table and we called it products, I think. Yep. If you've spelled it incorrectly, okay, this will appear as a blank, or it will say name, because obviously the name's wrong. So if you put the correct name in, if you've done it correctly, as you can see, it actually shows you what each of those, all the data in your table. Okay, the column index. Now this is the column that the description will appear. So if we look back at our products table, the product ID is in the first column, the description is in the second column, and the cost is in the third column. So obviously we need to look at column number 2. So we're going to enter number 2 here, and if we've done that correctly, it should give us a response, which is whole chicken. Excellent. Okay, and as you can see, now it displays whole chicken. Now if I change that accordingly, okay, so it will change now to according to whatever the item is. Right, you can do the same thing with unit price. So we do the same thing again. Insert the function. We're going to Vlookup, look up product ID, so B18, from the table called products. And this time, as you know, the product price is in column number 3, not number 2. So what we do this time is we enter number 2 in there instead of number 3. Once you've done that, click OK, and that's done. Okay, at the moment, it's not column number 2, it's column number 3. Okay, that should be column number 3, that's where the price is. Okay, as you can see, now it's entered the price. So there you go. So now if we check that, it should change accordingly, which it does. Excellent. And if we enter the quantity, it'll obviously work out the total value, which is 1150. So that's Vlookup. It's a very useful tool which will save time for you to save time from going backwards and forwards to a worksheet to find a particular item or price or tag. Okay, that's Vlookup.